Hello and welcome to another Connecting Live. I am just waiting for the new British champion, Leigh Wood is about to join us. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed last night's live. Loads of great comments as always. Let's see if we can get Leigh in here. Request now, Leigh. Hope everyone is well. Also, don't forget if you want to ask Leigh a question. Hi! How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thanks. This is my first Instagram live, so
You
congratulations.
will be fine.
My first, no?
You've passed the first test with connecting properly. You were nice and quick. That's how we like to do it. How's things?
Good, good. It's different, isn't it, with COVID when you box. Normally, I go out and I see my friends and I see all my family. I've got a massive family, so it's been different. Normally, I go to like Raglan Road in town and I have a few sing songs with everyone and that. But it's been different. There's not a lot I can do, so I'm looking forward to just getting back in the gym because what else can I do? And I'm gonna eat a bit of food this week and see my kids and that. But apart from that, I'm stuck.
Well, I've noticed that you've been doing so much media work, like obviously in the lead up to this fight and since the fight. So how's that been, being back in the spotlight?
Yeah, I think because there's not a lot else to do, I've got all these like Instagram lives and well coming up, Zoom meetings. These are new to me as well. Forest Ground today to do something for BBC. It's the first time I've been to the Forest Ground for a year since we played and we beat Leeds 2-0. So that was different. But yeah, I'm keeping busy, doing what I can do, and I'll be back in the gym soon because there's, like I said, there's not a lot else I can do.
Well, I did see on your story earlier on that you were at the football grounds, and it's always like so much fun when somebody wins their fight and they get invited to the football ground. It's kind of one of those things where you know you've made it if the football team are like, come on, come up to the grounds.
I love going down to Forest after a fight and going on the pitch. And when you win a title, obviously you get a great reception. And I feel like I've been robbed a little bit with COVID title, but hopefully in summer, it's getting warmer. The vaccine's out. I think hopefully by summertime, we're back down there. The crowds will be back, and who knows, could have another fight by then.
Absolutely. So how was it? I mean, for all the guys that I've spoke to over the last year that have been lucky enough to get fights, and that, the question you have to ask is, one, how do you think you're going to prepare, or how do you think you'll be on the night when you have to fight in that no crowd, different environment? And then to the guys who have fought, like yourself, how was it?
So going into it, I was just thinking like, look, it's the same for both of us. Obviously, he'd not boxed on a COVID bill, you could say, no crowd bill. Neither have I. So it was more like I was just thinking, look, he's going through the same. It's going to be like sparring, but obviously more intense. You're going to be able to hear the breathing of each other. You're going to be able to hear the shots.
Yeah.
The crowd's going to hear the shots landing as well because normally, as the crowd go up, you land a shot, the crowd goes up, you can't hear anything. So I had them things in mind, and like sometimes you used to spar with music on, but in the gym, was turning the music off and just making it more similar to what it was going to be on fight night. As the actual experience went, it was as I expected, but I don't want to do it again. I mean,
Yeah.
if I have to fight, if I have to fight again without the crowds, obviously I'm going to do it. But I don't really want to. I hopefully the crowds are back the next time I fight. It's just like even after the fight, like I went back to my hotel room with Ben and Barry, and we were just singing and eating pizza all night. I'll go see my mom or my aunties, or like people like to see straight after and thank you for coming. And oh, that's another thing as well. Before the fight, normally I'm flying around selling tickets. That was a good thing because I was just chilling out all week in my room watching films, playing Call of Duty on my PlayStation. Normally I'm picking tickets up and dropping stuff. So that was the only thing I liked, which was different. But everything else, it's not for me.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of boxing fans don't realize that even guys that are at your level in the game still have to sell tickets.
You do, yeah, and flying around because you can leave people to do it, but some people they like to interact with the fighter, like to
Of
go
course, yeah.
fight and say, "Oh, good luck," And you know what? Fair play, like they're spending their money to come watch you fight, so why not give them your time of day? Why not go say, "Look, let them wish you good luck." They're spending their money to come watch you. They're supporting you. It's just part of it, and boxing's like that. It's a working class sport, isn't it? A working man sport. So I do like that side of things, but sometimes when you get pretty popular, and you're going up through the levels, it gets a little bit draining seeing 50 to 100 people in a week for tickets. Like, you need to hit it on the head at some point.
Absolutely. I mean, for yourself, you've been in this game a long time, Lee. It's like 10 years or something, is it?
I love it. I love boxing. I love boxing. My mum, I feel sorry for my mum because since a young lad, like, I've always liked things that were just dangerous and things that she'd just like. Like, I'd go on training camp and she'd get a video of me jumping off some rocks into the sea or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'd go out and near mine there's a colliery. It's a country park now, but it was just a coal mine colliery, and I used to go up there at weekends on motorbikes, quad bikes. I'm just that kind of kid, and if it didn't threaten my life and it didn't make me feel alive and I didn't enjoy it, kind of thing. So yeah, boxing for me, I just love it. I love boxing. I love the highs and the lows, all the experience it gives you, and it does make you feel alive.
Where do you think that daredevil edge in you comes from? That kind of like wanting to feel alive. Where do you think you get that from?
I'm not sure, but I think as a kid, I got an older brother, and I hung around with like the older kids, you could say, all his friends a lot, and it was always like I was never back. Like, they'd always say, like, "You can't do this, you're not." And I was a tiny kid. I was like 34. My first fight was 32 kilo, and I was like tiny, like. So when hung around with all them, like, they're like, "Oh, you can't do this. You're too small." I was like, "No, I'll do it." And I used to just mix with them. I was tiny, and I used to mix and just do it anyway. And I don't know, it's probably from there, like, not being backed and always being told you're too small to do this or you're not old enough to do it. Maybe that's that. Maybe it's just in me genetically. I don't even know, but that's just how I am, and that's just part of me in it. So
When you fight, is there somebody like who do you want to impress when you fight? Are you trying to achieve for yourself? Like, naturally enough, you obviously have to be. You want to achieve for yourself. But is there anyone in the back of your mind that you want to prove that you can do it?
no, I mean, now I've got kids. Obviously, I want to be successful so they can look back and say, "Look, my dad did this and this," and it can be proud. But even that, I remember when, like, my daughter first come around and I did an interview and said, "Oh, now you've got kids, is that extra motivation?" But
Mm.
not really, like, to be honest, because I've always, like, wanted to do it for myself, and I've always pushed myself as hard as I can push myself. Always been disciplined. Always followed everything to a T. Never cheated on anything. So when I had a kid, it's like not like I feel more motivated to do it because I've always been extremely, like, I've always done the best I can do and the most I can do. So
Mhm.
really changed. But now, obviously, they're getting older. It's like I want to make them proud, so I want to achieve the most I can achieve. But motivation wise, it's always the same. But to be honest, in the Joyce fight, when it was getting hard. I think it was a Coldwell or someone. I think it was Coldwell whispered in my ear. I said, "Listen, you need to do this for your kids." And, like, I think that was like round 8, and then round 9, I got the knockout. So I don't know. Talking shit, I don't know, but
Well, usually it goes two ways with fighters who have kids. It either gives them an extra edge or it softens them up a little bit. It's one or the other. So, I mean, obviously, we're talking about 10 years in the game. It's like, you know, you're so privileged in a way because you've got to experience it. Not a lot of guys get to say that they've been in the game for 10 years. What would you say is the biggest change that you've noticed over those 10 years?
um, social media,
Yeah.
massively. So when I first started, I think Instagram and Twitter, it was all early days. I think I actually got Instagram after I turned pro. That it came around after I turned pro, and just like the influence you have on social media and the way it carries in the fight game, you could be a terrible fighter, but if you've got a massive following, you're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna be in big fights. You're gonna, you just force yourself onto TV.
Yeah.
It's all that's probably the biggest thing that's changed over the time in the pro game for me. Um, yeah, I think that is literally the biggest thing.
How does that make you feel knowing that we're in this time now where you can just be clever on social media and you can rise to the top of the sport?
Yeah, I mean, you can get. It's always been the same in a different sense. Like, if you've got a good manager, they can maneuver you to a certain point, but eventually you got to fight. Eventually, you're going to be in a fight, and if you can't fight, you come unstuck. But yeah,
Absolutely.
like if you've got the numbers, you can put yourself in a favourable position, and you can pick opponents to get to a certain place. But inevitably, if you're going to win a world title, eventually you've got to beat someone if it's a prestigious world
Hmm.
title.
Do you still feel fresh? Because, you know, even just speaking to you and seeing your interviews and seeing the media stuff, seeing you fight, you're like someone who's just, you know, turned pro. You still have that hunger. It looks like you still have that desire to achieve in the sport. And then, would that be true? Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've not been in hard fights. I
Hmm.
live the life. I live a clean life. I love boxing, and I'll box for as long as I can box. When it gets to the point where I'm getting hammered in sparring or my
Yeah.
fitness is the same, but I'm like that's Ben. Like I'm one of the fittest in the gym. Like we did a VO2 max test, and like I just blew it out of the park. Like I don't like I live the life, and just like yeah, like you say, I got interviewed on the build up to this fight, and he said, "Oh, I don't want to like pull you out, but like you're 32, blah blah blah." And I was thinking, and I thought about it. I didn't say anything, but I answered the questions like, "Yeah, but I'm young, 32." But I was thinking, 32 isn't old. Like 40. If I was 42, I could understand what he was saying, but I'm 32. Like I'm flying. I'm at my best right now. I've got
Absolutely.
I've got 3 or 4 years if I that are there if I want to, maybe more. We'll see. I don't know. So I want to box for as long as I'm not taking punishment. If I'm taking a lot of punishment and I'm in hard fights, you know, you got to assess your health and stuff. But I'm flying. I'm flying. I'm at my best. I'm performing. I'm hitting all my targets. My fitness is amazing. So yeah, and I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, it gets to the point where it's a chore, and the only thing I don't like is being away from home and being away from my family. But
Hmm.
it's a sacrifice to pay. Like I've got a bit of time at home now. I'm home every weekend. It's just a small price to pay for the greater good. But everything else wise with my age, like I've got plenty of time. I've got enough time to achieve what I want to achieve.
Absolutely. I hear you. So you obviously mentioned Ben and the team. I think a lot of people are really happy for you to see how well the relationship with Ben has developed. For someone like Ben, he's so well liked and within the sport for what he's done, what he's accomplished, and his passion as well. You know, you can't fake that. You can't fake that true, genuine passion for boxing, passion for the sport, and a passion to want to see the people he's training achieve. And that was something in a lot of the post-fight interviews that he done. He was genuinely so delighted for you.
Yeah.
How did that link up with Ben come together, and how has been the relationship between you up until this point?
So my friend Leo, I used to live with him in Sheffield for like 9, 10 years. I think about 9 years. We used to train at the Ingles together. Very good friends. Then he moved to Ben. Well, whilst I was with Ian, he moved to Ben. He went on training camp when Ben was there. I think he did it on purpose to meet Ben, and then it was his and Ben ended up training Leo. Then months later, me and obviously Ian didn't work out. Didn't have a gym. Didn't have anyone to train with. He just basically told me that he couldn't give me what I needed. So I gave him a bit of time to think about it. I said, I'll have a few days, 'cause it's a big decision. I have a few days to think about it. And then I went back to him a few days later and he said the same, like, I can't give you what you need, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, fair enough. So then I was looking for a trainer and Leo was on my case and he was like, you come and meet Ben, come and meet Ben. And he was going to Ben, oh, train Leigh, he's good, he can punch, blah, and all this stuff. And like, I was similar to everyone else. When you first hear Ben's name, you just think he trained Tyson Fury for a bit. But
Yeah.
it kind of sticks with him, but now I think he's getting his own identity. Like Josh looked amazing in his last fight. Obviously with me now, he's got Shabazz, he's got Lee McGregor. He's building his own identity, and like people are starting to see what he's like. And I said this before the fight. In the coming months, like we're going to have like one of the best stables in Britain, and it's all down to Ben. You know, his passion, the way, the reason he does it. You know, he's not for financial gain. He's just got our best interests at heart, and the things he said back that up.
Hmm.
And yeah, you can see it. I'm around it week in, week out, and I'm so glad that I made the move and I met Ben, and I can't thank him enough for Saturday night and where it's going to take me.
When did you find out that the fight was going to be for the British title, or was it off the bat straight away you knew it was going to be for the title?
Yeah, so when the board announced me as manager with Reece Mould, I think I posted a photo of my Commonwealth and my WBO European title, and I said British title for the right shoulder. That was the day I knew, and yeah, and then we was on it straight away. You know, down there, Ben, and he has someone employed called Leigh, great guy. He is like, he analyzes boxing and in a short, he analyzes boxing and picks things up, and he's so smart with how boxing works, and he views things the same as Ben. So they work together. So you're constantly getting videos sent to you. Our sparring gets recorded, gets sent to us. Leigh will send me clips out. Ben will send me clips out. This is good. This is bad. This is what you need to work on. He will tell me before a spar. I'll get it back after a spar. If I've not done something right, I'll be drilling it 1,000 times. If I've done something right, I'll get it on the video. Leigh will be sending me examples in different fights. And before I went down there, like, I didn't really watch a lot of boxing. Not been a big boxing fan. I enjoyed doing it, like I said, the feeling. I love doing it myself, but to watch it, it's not the same for me. But since I've been down there, you know, I've really stepped up my studying and watching fighting and analysing things again, and my perception of what I'm looking for now is totally different and all part of this company.
But that's a really interesting point, because that sort of obsessive edge that Ben and that team have is kind of what gives them the edge, in that you kind of want to have somebody that is going to leave the gym after being there for 10 hours and doing like 4 training sessions to go home and to study and break down and technically analyze your opponent or you, and then give you that feedback. You know, so for you as the fighter, does that automatically lift your confidence?
What you just said then, like, it'd be in the gym all day and I'd leave at 8:30 at night. I get back, get a shower, cook my food, lay in bed. It's getting to like 10 o'clock normally when I go to bed. Bang, get a text, video on off Ben. He's watching and he's cut out bits. And I'm like, this kid, does he not ever switch off? Like, fight week, we're going for over and over and over things, certain little things that we've been practicing that we know that are going to be fundamental for my fight. I think it was Wednesday night, did little bits and bobs. Thursday night, I'm thinking, God, I've got to go over this one again. I'm fighting 2 nights. Fight day, away from fight day, I get an essay off him on my phone, text message. I get an active press. Do we have to press read more? One of them. And it was all the things that we've been practicing on, just to remind me again. Basically saying, read this more than once. Do you know what I mean? And I went through it over and over and over. I put my phone down. So, right, I know what I'm doing because I've drilled it 1,000 times. He just texted me again. I've read it another 50 times. And I went, no, I'll read it again. So I'm reading it. But this is what you're dealing with, lad. There's no room for error. There's no excuse. We turn up fight night. We know exactly what we're doing. And it's down to the team and down to Ben and Leigh and Barry. So
with that, what is your definition of greatness? What do you think it takes to be great in this sport?
You've got to live the life. You've got to eat, sleep, breathe it, as I say. You can't switch off. You can't. I used to do it before. Like, you train, completely switch off from boxing. Train, go home at the weekend, completely switch off. You can't, especially when you get a date. Like, you need to be on it morning, day, and night. In between training, watching fighting. After training, watching fighting. You need to be. If you want to be the best in the division, you want to be up there. You've got to be on it all the time as a full-time job, you know, not just a part-time train and forget about it. You've got to be on it.
I hear you. Well, before I let you go, I know you're very busy and it's the week after a fight and you just won't be left alone. But before I let you go, there's a load of questions after coming in. So I'm going to ask them and see what everyone wants to ask you there. Okay, there's a comment here from Tom Little, and he has said, well done, Leigh, great win. I assume you know Tom. You've obviously met him before.
I think I met him before once or twice. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. You know, I just got to give Ben credit for this win, and he's put a lot of hard work in, as have I. But he's put a lot of work in, and like the things he's adapted me this camp for this fight. I just got to thank him because he's made it very, what's the word? Not easy, but straightforward. I knew exactly what I had to do, so I had to go out there and do it.
Absolutely. Good stuff. This is, it says not a question, but a comment, and it's from Reece Mould, and he's asked, thank you for winning me £20 on the weekend.
a lot of screenshots, and people have made a lot of money, so I hope they buy me some food when they're allowed, you know?
Absolutely. I hope they share the wealth. That's it. Okay, let's have a look and see. This is from Danny Wilson from Boxing Science, and he's asked, "Hi Leigh, do you support Nottingham Forest?"
He's funny. He's funny. So every time I type something, I'll put Nottingham on it. He'll comment and put, "You're not from Nottingham, are you?" I back my city. I love my city. I love being back at home. I could go on and on and on, but he'll just give me shit. So yeah, I just back my city.
Good stuff. There's a question in here from Sam Smith, 27, and he's asked, great fight at the weekend. Was Reece as tough as you thought he would be?
Absolutely. Like I said, I expected him to be better than we've seen him previously, and I think he was. I think he was a lot better. He was up for it. Like I said, it's a British title. They don't give him away. You're always going to be in a hard fight. I think everybody raises the game when that's on the line, and I think he did. I think he was better than a lot better than we'd seen him previously. He was tough. He sucked up shots in the fourth round. You know, he wasn't very easy to throw about. He was strong, tough, and I think he'll come again. I think he's probably around British, or if not above British level already. And I think he will come again if he wants to. In fact, I hope he does. I hope he does, because I've been there where he is now, back in 2014, and it's not a nice feeling. You know, you're unbeaten. Your first big test. You want to win. You do anything you can. Didn't have the experience like myself back then. And I was really down after that fight. I was, you know, Jordan Gill actually stayed with me that night in the hotel. Everyone went home and I was on my own, and he said, I'm going to stay with you tonight because, like, you don't leave me on my own. I was so upset. So, yeah, I hope he comes back. I hope he bounces back from it. It'd be nice to see.
Absolutely. This is a question from Sandra Queen, and she's asked, two of your losses are from Jazza Dickens and Gavin McDonald. Would you have any interest in facing either of them again to try and avenge?
Both of them. I'd love to get a chance to avenge both of them losses. Gavin's fighting for the European title next, the same way as me. Obviously, we both moved up. That could be a fight that could be made. It'd be a massive fight. The rematch, if he wins the European title, which I think he will, I'll back him to do it. That would be a massive fight. And obviously, Dickens is fighting for the world title next. If he could pull that off, you know, our paths can cross. I've got my eyes firmly on both of them, and I would love to try and put both of them fights right.
When you look at a loss, do they stay with you, or do you have to let them go?
I think you have to analyse them, because you need to know why you lost. If you don't know why you lost, you can't improve. So you need to know what went wrong, why you lost. Then once you put that right, you don't have to dwell on it and keep thinking about it. But at the same time, it's something you'd always like to put right, you know.
Good stuff. This is a question in from Darren Allen, I think it is. And they've asked, apart from any fight that you could be in this year yourself, what is the biggest fight, in your opinion, that can be made?
In any division?
In any division.
It's got to be Fury Joshua, on it. It's got to be. What a big fight. And it looks like it's been made. And it's a pick and fight. And I think if they're both at the best, I would probably lean towards Fury. But if he's complacent and don't get his tactics right, Joshua could win. So it's great. That's why it's so exciting. And
it's the great divide, right?
It's heavyweight boxing as well, which only takes a little clip. And
absolutely, it's one of those things where up until fight night, there is going to be debate after debate after debate. Everyone is going to get lots of work out of it because it's going to be so big.
You know, it's training with Fury in the build-up. It's going to be funny.
Absolutely. This is it's a comment and a question, and it's in from Andrian, I think it is, Andrian Tacken. And he said, "Hi, I'm a big fan of yours. I loved watching the fight at the weekend. I'm only 12 and I box and want to be a professional. What advice could you give to me?"
Okay, so advice I give to young fighters quite often is boxing can be a bit of a roller coaster. You have a lot of ups and downs. You might have a good spar and you might feel on top of the world, and then one time, I promise you, eventually you might lose a fight or two, you might have a bad spar, and sometimes people have them bad days and they think they beat themselves up that bad and say, I'm no good at this, and then that's it. Some pack in, whether it's a loss on a fight night or a bad spar. There's going to be ups and downs, and if you want to get to where you want to get to, and you want to be successful, you've got to ride them out, and you just got to stick at it. And that's the best advice I can give to you.
Great advice. There's loads that have come in. There's too many to name off everyone, but loads have come in asking about the main event on the weekend, Warrington Lara. And a lot of people are asking, did you get to watch it ringside? And what did you think?
I didn't watch it ringside. I was walking back to our hotel with the speaker on, singing Country Road. So excited, and we went back and got a pizza, and it was on the TV in my hotel room. I think that it couldn't have been good watching his friend get beat to start with, but I don't think that would have affected his fight. It might have affected his mood, maybe, I don't know. But he got caught, dragged into a bit of a fight. I think he was having a punch up with a tough Mexican, which is never a good idea at all. Maybe he underestimated him, maybe he didn't, but he had a punch up. He didn't get caught and then think, right, I need to regroup, move, hold, jab. It was just like, kind of get caught, right, I want that punch back. And that's inevitably what dragged him into a fight. Well, a few of us disagree and think, like, Ben thinks the style is just all wrong for him. He's a puncher with high volume, and that's what his best asset is. And he just had a puncher, like, he just traded and against a kid that he was going to always come short against. But yeah, I think he could get his tactics right and beat him. Well, I think so, but maybe he can, maybe he can't. I think soon we'll find out.
Absolutely. Final question. Well, there's one question I want to ask you, and then there was another that I want to ask that came in before I started the live. It was a DM that I got. But why do so many people request that you sing?
I don't know.
What is it?
I can't sing. Maybe it's a comedy factor because I can't sing. I sound like I got a peg on my nose because it's broke. But there'll be no singing because I only sing in my band, and that's with Barry and Ben. So
okay, the next time we'll bring the band, right? But before I let you go, just as I was starting the live here, there was a DM that came in from a viewer that wanted you to talk about a walkout that you had. I can't remember the song. Was it a P Diddy song?
Oh, yeah.
Did you walk out to P Diddy? I think, were you main event somewhere and Terry Harper was on the other cards? What was the song?
I think it was Coming Home.
Yes, so, that's exactly it. Yeah,
boxing in Nottingham, there's not been no boxing in Nottingham for a long time. I think Cole Froch, the use of Matt Bill, which I was on a long time before. And then I won the Commonwealth in Peterborough and joining Gill's Bill. Matchroom came back to Nottingham. I think it was just the perfect song to come out to. You know, it's coming home, boxing's coming back to Nottingham kind of thing. And it fitted really well. It kind of picked the crowds up. When I walked out, you know, there was just lights on, phones everywhere. It was such a good feeling to come out and have so much support and everyone filming it. It was kind of surreal. And then obviously I always do. Yeah, it was a special night, and I really enjoyed that night. But obviously my friend got beat after, which kind of put a bit of a damper on the night. But before that point, I tried to forget about it after and just remember before. And also, yeah, Jordan's fighting on Saturday, so everyone please tune in to watch Jordan. My other friend Bradley is fighting on Friday in Bolton on the MTK bill. Then soon we've got Shabazz fighting on the card of Lee McGregor for the European title, my other friend. And obviously we're over to Josh in May time. So yeah, busy boys, and hopefully we keep this winning streak going for everyone.
Absolutely. And it's so good to see. I love to see when everyone's friends in sport and supporting each other. We love to see it. But Leigh, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and well done from the weekend. Just buzzing for you. So good.
Right, and yeah, it's been good. My first Instagram live ever, so thank you.
Oh, I'm delighted that we got to have you for your first Instagram live. Well, I couldn't ask for that more. But looking forward to talking to you through the rest of the year, and looking forward to hearing what's next for you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
See you later, Leigh. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.